All right. Good morning. Welcome to Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. We are truly here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good.
Yeah.
Hence, the high. H for hope,
H.
I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
Yes.
Truly.
Truly. Happy Hump Day. Welcome. We're almost there.
Happy Hump Day, right?
Yeah.
Everyone take a nice big deep breath in.
Woo.
Airway,
there we go.
breathing, circulation.
Yes. 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 Okay, so welcome. It's January 13th, 2021. And yeah, here we are. Here we are.
Another day.
Let's start off with a little bit of daily love. So today I pulled from one of Emmett Fox's books because I really love him. And today he talked about big problems and little problems and how there's no difference between the two in reality.
Ooh.
The message was, listen, raising somebody from the dead or fixing a scratch on somebody's finger is the same thing. It's the same thing. But in our heads, a big problem is always much more worrisome, and we have to attack it. And the message was, just sit back, relax, don't worry about it. None of them are big problems, and everything will always be fine. And sometimes I need to hear that because, I'll worry about what seem to be big problems. And if I look back in life, there were a ton of big problems. So I thought that just turned out to be, nothing. We make them big. So the message is, relax, don't worry. It's all good.
Don't worry, be happy. So I'm
going to don't worry, be happy. Exactly.
Well, here's the interesting thing too. I'm just going to give like a little analogy.
Yeah.
And my son was the one that pointed this stuff out to me. It was very, very interesting. The wisdom of a child that has faced so much adversity and has a ton of resilience. So at the beginning of the pandemic, as things started to escalate and things were getting worse, and I just said to him, checking in with the kids, I'm like, Nick, I said, what's going on? How are you doing, during this? And he goes, oh, Ma, it's just another thing. And I'm like, what? He goes, it's just another thing. And I go, but it's a big thing. I said, it's a big thing. It's a big problem we're having. He goes, yeah, Mom. He goes, but think of all the little things we've been through. Think of all those little things that we got through. He goes, all it is a lot of little things piled into one big lump. That's how he put it.
I love that.
Right?
I love that. That's the message. They're all little things.
Right?
Yeah.
And, it's really interesting too, Mark, like looking back, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there too. If you look back at all of the things you were able to get through,
yeah.
I look through the past, 10, 12 years of my life. And if you had told me then the things that I would have had to have gone through, I would have said, no, thanks. No, thank you. I didn't sign up for this. Not going to do it. Don't want to do it. Right? Exactly.
Right.
So basically, we can get through these little things. It's just one bite at a time.
Exactly. Now, here's a quote, and I heard it the other day as well. It was from Mark Twain. It says, I have been through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened.
Some of which actually happened. Well, here it is too. That's the part that's interesting is we give meaning to it, right? Life is neutral. I've had people that, someone had said to me, oh, Sherry, life's neutral. It's your perception. And it's the meaning that you give behind what happens.
Oh, we know that one by heart.
Cheers.
We're just meaning making machines, baby. We just make meaning out of everything. And you know what? You can make it mean anything you want.
There you go.
Truth.
There you go.
So,
and that's why.
Which one are you going to do today?
Yeah, so that's why we have word of the day. Right?
Yeah.
The word of the day. How are we going to start our day? What word of the day are we going to focus on?
Yeah.
Mark, I'll let you go first.
Listen, I'm going to pull that one. I'm going to use meaning.
Meaning.
Meaning is my word of the day. And I'm going to make things mean happiness and joy for me.
There you
today.
go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Meaning.
You?
This is interesting. So I've been going through the alphabet,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of a fun thing that I'm doing. And, my A word was Ananda. My B word was bliss. My C word was cannabis. And today's word is D, divine. Right? Divine. What does divine mean? Divine,
right.
in meditation is our connectedness and to source, our connectedness to the universal source or to God or to creator.
Yeah.
And so the meaning for me is just the affirmation is I am a divine expression of creative love all the time, even when I'm having human moments.
Hey, you're divine put into this thing. Thing.
Yes. So I had, because it's interesting when you're having moments, those little problems or those issues or those triggers that come up.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is we forget, we were like, this is, oh my God, you go down that story, right? So how can we find the divine in all that's happening in our lives around us right now? Looking at the good too.
Yeah.
So just a little telling on myself is, yesterday I had a little bit of a frazzled day and I truly did not feel divine at all.
Well, you still are. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of it, right? Sometimes you get glimpses, this wall of flesh kind of dissipates and you get a glimpse of divine, right? In divinity, and you experience it and you're like, oh my God, okay. Everything is always going to be okay.
It is.
And then you step back into humanity and you're like, oh, I've got big problems that'll never go away. It'll be awful.
So what I did, so it's interesting how I took care of myself yesterday when I felt fried, was my bed was calling to me. So my divine self climbed into bed. I cocooned, I meditated, I put my headset on and did a nice binaural beats meditation, did a little chanting, and dozed off and came back and felt refreshed. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's good.
Taking that time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to also mention a cannabis word. I thought this would be kind of fun too.
Yeah.
As I'm going through, I was meditating. I'm like, okay, so we're picking a word of the day. My word is divine. What about a cannabis word of the day? So I was like, D. First thing that popped into my head was decarboxylate. Well, because after all, this is a cannabis show, right? So decarboxylate.
Yes.
It's a really cool word.
It is. It's a chemical process, physical chemical process, right?
Yep.
You apply heat to the cannabis plant and it decarboxylates, chemically changes the acidic forms of THC and CBD and the other cannabinoids. And what do you get, Sherry?
You transform the inactive acid part of the cannabinoids like THCA and CBDA into the active THC and CBD. So the reason why people like to decarboxylate, they get a higher potency in their products that are consumed, like edibles, gummies, tinctures, capsules.
I mean, if you eat a raw cannabis plant, you're not going to feel any intoxicating effects. Like you're not going to feel the pain relieving effects of, say, THC because it's in its inactive form. Now, THCA is a powerful cannabinoid used in medicine, right?
Yep.
Because it's really good anti-inflammatory. So, both of those things are very powerful, but that's why people smoke it, right? Because when they smoke cannabis and they get high, they get intoxicating feeling. It's because it decarboxylates that THCA. Then you get the good stuff.
Yeah. So my health tool of the day is I'm going to be consuming a lot of decarboxylated cannabis today.
Excellent. That's good.
Going to nourish my body with phytobotanical nutrients. Truly, going to get it into my gut. And my choice today is I have made myself my own little infusion. It's half olive oil, half MCT oil, whole plant. And so what I do to get that in, it's decarboxylated, the cannabis plant. I did a full extraction, meaning that I had the plant sit in this container for over a month. And now I'm eating it. I'm incorporating it into my food to get it truly in my gut. Yeah.
Just like that. So, I'm going to continue on my, oh, hey, wait a minute. Jane Johnson Lynch. Jane and I grew up together. She is a, I don't want to say old friend because then I'd say we were old, but I'm going to say a young friend. She's a good friend.
Hey, good morning. Rise and shine.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
What I'm going to do for my healthy moment today is I'm going to continue on day 2 of no caffeine. And let me tell you, it ain't easy because last night I developed a headache and I'm thinking, well, why do I have a headache? What is this all about? And it took me a while to figure out, well, yeah, you haven't had any caffeine today.
Right.
None.
Right.
So I had an awful, awful headache all night long. I still have it now. I just don't feel good. And I'm telling you, it's the caffeine. It's the caffeine. If you think about it, I've been using that particular drug, caffeine. It is a drug. I've been using that drug since I was a teen. And so that's a long time to be chugging a lot of coffee.
Yep. And when we talk about psychoactivity of plants, you know, the caffeine is psychoactive. Sugar is psychoactive. Any drug that interacts with your brain is psychoactive, but it's non-impairing. So,
Right. Yep, exactly. So that's my healthy thing for the day is I'm going to drink a lot of water and I'm going to continue down the path of having no caffeine, doing a reset. So
that's awesome.
Wish me luck.
I wish you luck.
Might be a little irritable later. I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
What was that?
I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna be irritable because my word of the day is meaning, and I'm gonna make it mean happiness and joy with no caffeine.
I am a divine expression of creative love, happiness and joy without my caffeine.
Oh my gosh.
Ananda.
So what are we going to talk about? Folic acid today?
Yeah. So today's Wellness Wednesday, wise wisdom for wellness, health awareness theme. So what we've been doing throughout the year and what we're going to continue to do is we're going to talk about the different monthly health awareness themes. So last week we talked about National Birth Defects Prevention Month, which is going on in January. And we talked a little bit about that. But this week, we're going to talk about National Folic Acid Awareness Month, which is really interesting, and it's like folic acid, B vitamins, how does that have to do with anything? Well, it does, believe it or not. Phytobotanical nutrients, nutrition, micronutrients are all really, really important for our endocannabinoid system, health and signaling. Really, really important. So, Mark, what's folic acid?
So, folic acid is essential B vitamin that's necessary for proper cell growth. And B vitamins bathe the central nervous system. So you need to have B vitamins. And listen, folate versus folic acid, right? Folate occurs naturally in certain foods. This whole grains, dark leafy green vegetables, which I love, broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts. I'm getting hungry. Beets, citrus fruits, avocado, papaya, bananas, eggs. Oh my God, I got to go make breakfast. Folic acid is a man-made it's a man-made supplement used in fortified foods like rice, pasta, bread, some breakfast cereals. You'll see it's fortified on the side. That's what it means as folic acid in it. And it's added into foods because, we realized that you needed to have folic acid in order to maintain a healthy body. Exactly. And so the body absorbs more folic acid from supplements and fortified foods than in natural foods.
Yeah. And truly the part that's important about that when we talk about nutrition and health and wellness, is that, we are truly a country that is overfed and undernourished. We are missing so many micronutrients in our diets. So it's really important that we bring up these different things. And the reason why folic acid is so important is because of all the different things that it does do.
Right.
Especially for people that are, thinking of becoming pregnant and having babies, folic acid is huge in the development of the brain and spine.
Right.
So folic acid deficiency can cause birth defects of the brain and spine. There's little different things, folic acid can prevent up to 70% of these different types of conditions. So spina bifida, incomplete development of the brain, the spinal cord, right? It's the protective covering around the brain. Folic acid deficiency can cause part of the brain to be missing.
Mm-hmm.
Really interesting. And premature or low birth weight babies. So really, really important folic acid, B vitamins, and being able to supplement not only eating those foods that are rich in those types of in folic acid, but also supplementing if we need to.
It's popular these days that a lot of the spas and the health centers are giving B vitamin injections because it's just that important. People are recognizing that they have low levels of B vitamins on board, and it's just you get that B vitamin injection and you feel better.
Yeah, you totally feel better. So why do we talk about this? Because of the endocannabinoid system. We have my umbrella right up there.
That umbrella.
All the time. And the spokes of the umbrella are different organ systems in our immune system. And the fabric pieces of the umbrella that connect to the umbrella are the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages.
Mm-hmm.
Very tippy top of the umbrella is the endocannabinoid system that blankets on top of our umbrella that give messages to keep our umbrella going up and down nicely. So if we're not making enough of our own internal endogenous cannabinoids, if we're not making enough of our own anandamine and 2-AG, well, guess what? Our umbrella isn't going to look so good. So
it's not going to open and close well.
Yeah. Sure. Healthy food choices, nutrients, micronutrients, including B vitamins. Affect the health of our endocannabinoid system, right?
Sure
so
does.
Everything that we're doing or not doing in our lives affects it. So here we go. Let's get into a little bit more about some of the symptoms of folate or B12 deficiency.
Okay? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
There are. Fatigue, tiredness, exhaustion, lack of energy.
Paresthesias, pins and needles, right?
Yeah, sore red tongue, mouth ulcers,
muscle weakness,
disturbed vision,
psychological problems, which may include depression or anxiety,
cognitive deficits, problems with memory, understanding, and judgment,
temporary infertility. That's interesting.
Right. Pregnancy complications. And again, the birth defects that we talked about a little earlier.
Yeah. Heart conditions. B vitamins are essential to healthy cardiac function. So what can cause some of these B12 or folate deficiencies?
Well, I recognize the first one, Sherry. My grandmother, God bless her, she had pernicious anemia. And that's from when the immune system attacks healthy cells in your stomach and it prevents your body from absorbing B12 from the food you eat.
Yeah. So here's another good one, right? So when we talk about endocannabinoid system health and nourishment, diet is huge. So dietary efficiency, right? Food, fast food, fried food, fake food, poor diets, alcohol, sugar, all of that stuff can deplete our body of B vitamins. B vitamins are essential. They bathe our central nervous system.
They do. Medications, some anticonvulsants, proton pump inhibitors can cause a drug nutrient depletion, and they can affect how much of the vitamins your body absorbs.
Yep. Other thing too, we're no surprise, stress.
Yeah.
Stress can affect our B vitamins, unhealthy gut microbiome. So if we have an unhealthy stomach and we're not eating properly, dietary deficiencies due to our lifestyle, that can cause a vitamin B12 or folate deficiency.
Yeah. And the next one, Sherry, tell us about this one.
Okay, this is very, very interesting.
Is that an acronym for mother? No, go ahead.
I know, MTHFR. Okay, it's this big, long-winded, giant word. And I can't even pronounce it, but it looks like motherfucker. Really,
it does, and it is a motherfucker. So 30 to 60% of people have this genetic mutation, and it's where the B vitamins don't cross the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the interesting thing too is if people have these MTHFR and they don't have, B vitamins don't cross the blood-brain barrier, it can manifest in some of these other symptoms that we have mentioned about folate deficiency, B12 deficiency.
Yeah.
So what these people have to do is they have to take an activated form of folic acid. So there are supplements that are out there. It's called Methylfolate. So the MTHFR converts the folic acid to methylfolate so it can actually cross into the brain. So a lot of people that have that gene, it's not able to cross over. And so what happens is they manifest these symptoms that mimic the B12 deficiency vitamin a folic acid deficiency. So this specific type of supplement allows that B vitamin to get into the brain. Really important. So
good stuff.
Good stuff. So as we all know, we are here to educate you and empower you to make choices that are important for you. Healthy choices, nutrients, micronutrients, including B vitamins. We want you to remember B vitamins for the win.
Yes, yes. And of course, decarboxylated cannabis.
Decarboxylated cannabis. Absolutely. So Mark, breath work. We have a big breath work.
Oh man. January 25th. You got to get in on this. January 25th, we're starting. It's going to be Monday and Thursdays. It's going to be 6 sessions. Starts at 9 a.m. It's 75 minutes. Now listen, it's 75 minutes of instruction and practice. So you will do a breath work session. You'll do 2 a week for 3 weeks. You'll get a full understanding of how important breath work and how transformational breath work can be. Yeah. So join us with Jacques Terone from São Paulo, Brazil, an amazing practitioner. And I love the guy. He's just such an amazing human being, and he has so much to share. And I'll tell you, it will transform your life. In 3 weeks, you will just be in another world. You will complete on stuff. You will be a different person.
Absolutely. And so basically the other thing that we're offering with that workshop is a free introductory to energy healing. So myself and Green Nurse Denise and Carrie Lee and Michelle, we're going to be doing a little workshop to introduce you all to energy healing, Reiki, regenerative healing, and Healy free. So sign up for the breath work. Transform your life through a simple tool, something that you can carry with you all the time.
You can use this at any moment, at any time. And it's healing. It's transformative. It's just amazing. You got to check it out. So did you mention where to go? thegreennurse.com/breathwork.
Absolutely. And there's a link that should be right in the post here. So other thing we want to big shout out is today in the Weeds, Prohibition Talk Radio. We're going to be on doing our Canna Talk segment, which is going to be awesome. Thank you, Joe Smith, for having us on. We're really excited. Today's show is from 4:20 to 6:20 p.m.
Woo-hoo,
talking to a doctor who's created the Spellman Report. So it's going to be a really great show. Really, really informative, talking about a lot of different things for medical patients. So tune into that between 4:20 and 6:20 p.m. Nurse Mark and I have our Canna Talk segment. And the other thing that we're doing tonight at 8:30, we're going live. So 2021 is the year of the nurse, and we are illuminating all cannabis nurses in the space because truly it does take courage and bravery to step out of, step out. So we're going to be profiling one of our nurse practitioners tonight. So really excited. So join us tonight. And if you or someone you love is suffering from chronic illness, chronic pain, if you or someone you love is interested in learning how to incorporate plant wisdom and nutritional components of the plant, or to have a canna healthy lifestyle, or if you or someone you love is cannabis curious and you want to learn how to have a safe adult use experience, reach out to us at The Green Nurse. We're here to help you. www.thegreennurse.com.
And you know that if you're in the healthcare space and you're helping people to live a healthier life, doesn't matter where you are in the spectrum and all of the different modalities, join us. We're all about bringing everybody together and creating this amazing community that uses cannabis and other modalities, because cannabis is one piece of the puzzle, an important, amazing, powerful piece of the puzzle. But there are so many other things. So we are bringing all of that together, which is why, of course, we're doing breath work.
Absolutely. What's the other thing that's interesting too is, cannabis is expensive. So we are here to teach you how to use this in a way that, with other health and wellness tools that are free. So the combination of cannabinoids and all of these other progressive tools that we want to introduce to you is truly going to help you to live your best
life. And that's what it's all about, isn't it, Sherry? Living your best life. All right, guys, have an AFA day. We will see you. Well, we'll see you later on, 4:20. We'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.